back, it's an effort to ensure no one goes hungry and the food we eat is safe and healthy.
And in just a few weeks, Independence Bank will be hosting their 8th annual Farm to Fork dinner, and the community is still invited to attend. And we want to get the word out there. Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So we have Kelsey Hargis and Kathy Payton with us from Independence Bank. Talk to us a little bit about what is the Farm to Fork dinner for folks that might not know or be familiar with what this is.
Sure. So this is our 8th year for this event, and we are so excited to bring it back this year. But this is a community project that started a few years ago from what our bank employees call the Green Acre, where we have a community garden. Our employees go out and grow the produce, and then that was right around the time that a lot of these Farm to Fork dinners were starting. So we started our own initiative, but this one is a little bit different because of the work that our employees do.
Now, Kathy, how large of a garden is this? What's the size of this garden?
It's an acre. We call it the Green Acre. And again, it's the community garden at Mar Park. We raise corn, tomatoes, and that type of thing. We use that produce for our Farm to Fork dinner. After that's over with, then we have in non-profit organizations come in and pick the corn, and where they have use of it as well.
And I love the fact that, I mean, it's local food, local residents. What has it been like? What has the growth been like in the last 8 years hosting this? Because I know it probably just keeps growing and growing each year.
Sure. I mean, this is certainly a project that is a labor of love. The employees spend a lot of time out there, but the event itself, you know, it's just so awesome to come back year after year and put some different spins on it. So this year we have a Yellowstone theme, so kind of doing some different things around that, like the food Cowboy Caviar. We also have Morgan Miles, who is going to be our entertainment for the evening. So I think that is going to be a really awesome touch.
Now, how skillful are your employees at growing things? I mean, really? Have they learned a lot in this process?
Well, Mother Nature, I think, is the biggest part, right?
You still have to do some cultivating. You have to do some prep work. And how good are they at this?
They're really good at it. We have learned to hoe. We have learned to weed.
It's not easy.
It's not
and
easy.
You got to keep the varmints out of there, too.
Well, the raccoons do like the garden, so yes, that has been a challenge.
I love it. I love it. How many employees actually work on this garden for folks that might not know?
It's 10 to 15
Yes,
employees.
I was going to say, yeah. Our employees in Madisonville.
Quite a few different foods and everything like that. So different food this year as well. I know this year it's a different venue.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So the past few years we've had it at Mar Park, which is where we have the garden as well. But this year we did move up the event. It's usually been hosted in September, but this year it's going to be August 17th. Okay. So we just figured that with the heat, we might need to go to the Ballard Convention Center. So that is where we are. We will be in the air conditioning, and that also allows us to expand our ticket sales a little bit. So
for $76, you sit down, and what's going to be on my plate?
Sure, we have a 5-course meal that is on its way. And do you want to speak to the menu a little bit?
Kathy, what am I eating that night?
We're going to have brisket.
All right, you're starting off well.
Corn from our garden.
Sure.
Potatoes, and 3 different desserts.
And I want to touch on, because I mean, that sounds absolutely delicious. And we talked about, you know, a lot of the employees farming, but the students as well. I know you guys help a lot with the 4-H students, the agriculture students, local farmers. Touch on that a little bit.
Sure. So all of the money raised from this event is actually donated back to local 4-H and FFA chapters. We also give away a scholarship each year in honor of Danny Payton, who was a well-known name down in Hopkins County.
And I read that this has raised about $60,000 so far.
That's correct.
What does it feel like to be a part of this? I mean, you guys are, you know, hyper-local, giving back to these kids, having your staff work on this. What does it mean to each of you to be a part of something like this right in your hometown or in your community?
I mean, it really just gives you kind of a warm, fuzzy feeling, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. And the kids, they actually come to the event and they help work and they serve all of the entrees. So you kind of see them come full circle, and it's just really a nice touch.
And you mentioned you kind of supplemented some other items that aren't grown in the garden themselves, or the garden itself, you know, the meat products, things like that. What's it been for those members of agriculture that provided that stuff for you? Does that get the word out about their products locally? And
it does. Yes, we use some of the vendors at the farmers market and get their product. So, you know, they are mentioned as well. for helping us with this.
Absolutely. So let's give the details on this. I think we have a full screen that we have here. This will be taking place in Madisonville. This will be Saturday, August 17th. And we have the ticket prices there, $76 for an individual. Is that correct?
That's
Table
correct.
of 8. We have $608. The Ballard Convention Center at 5:30. Now, if folks want to get a ticket, because I know it's going fast,
Yes.
where can they go to order a ticket, to talk to someone, if they want to register a table, so forth?
Sure. The best thing to do would be to call either one of our Madisonville locations, and we would be happy to get a ticket to you.
Wonderful. Another great event going on here in town. Looking forward to it. Thank you both for coming
Yes.
on today. We really
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you very
it.
much.
Hopefully not a hot day on tap. Gunner Consul, he is here. He's tracking your Friday forecast. Good morning, Gunner.
Yeah, good morning.